Hold it. Yeah. Like we said in our last video, we're going to be talking about something a bit emotional today.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking
Should we go
about...
and bring tissue before we start?
Well, I'll give you my clothes to clean your eyes.
And I'll give you my trouser.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about our moms.
Yeah.
If you don't know, we both lost our moms at different times.
Yeah.
Right? And we're just going to share a story, a bit of background about, how it happened, the way we are grieving, and probably, lessons that we learned along the way.
Yeah, that can also help anyone, that is grieving.
Okay, so should I go first or you should go first?
I'm the senior, yeah.
So what do
Even
you
though it's not funny. But yeah, I lost my mom in 2018. So now it's...
You had not met that time?
No, we hadn't. So it's been a while. And she actually died on Mother's Day in May. So that's why, like, whenever we celebrate Mother's Day in March in the UK, I'm like, nope, that's not my own Mother's Day.
Yeah.
My Mother's Day is the one that happens in May, which is the one I think the people in the US and some other countries celebrate. So essentially for her, it was more like health issues that had been accumulating over the years.
Yeah.
But I would say like the I don't know, is it pinnacle of it was that, like, yeah, she started to get really weak. But you know how we see our parents as heroes, like even till she was gone, part of me was just like, it's not possible. Like, I've never, like, I was already an adult and I know that people die. Like, death was not like strange, like, oh, I didn't know that happened in the world. But I still never thought it was possible that my mom could die, because growing up, like, this is the strongest woman.
Saw her as a strong woman.
I know, and all that. So that weakness, she was already very weak, but she didn't, I don't know if to say she didn't show it or tell us the way it was really doing her. Like, I don't know what it is about our parents. They are all in the same. All of them are the same.
Yeah.
Right? So that was what happened. She was getting really weak at that time. But I think we didn't, because I have 3 siblings, so we are four girls. I think we took it seriously, because obviously, she started taking drugs.
Yeah.
Was taking drugs for a long time, to be fair. We started also taking her to the hospital. This is something that I would like to say is very important. See, no matter the job or business that you have, make time for your loved ones. Because the last time I saw her, alive, it was a work day, and it was my turn to take her to the hospital that day. I was living on the island because my work was on the island. I literally had to go from the island that morning to the mainland to take her to the hospital at Ikeja, let her do all the things that she would do in general hospital, take her back home. Like, we literally took a very random selfie, on the way back home that day, took her back home, and then I went back to the island. And I remember that maybe a night before then, or that morning, when I realized that it's my turn to take her to the hospital, a part of me was like, hey, God, how am I going to tell my boss that? Because I hadn't told them before. I didn't plan it ahead. So I was like, how am I going to tell my boss that, I won't be able to get to work, that maybe I should just find a way to beg maybe one of my sisters to take her. But I am so grateful that I did not do that. That I actually took time off work and actually go spend time with my mom. So it was basically like health issues over the years. And then I think I was on the island that day too, when my dad just called and said, I can't really remember the whole story, if I'm being honest. But he was like, that we should start coming, or something like that. And then when I got to the hospital, he whispered into my ears and was like, your mom is gone. Hey, God. I'm using laugh to cover it because I don't want to cry. But Like, I was just like, no, it's not possible. Like, I was supposed to be in church that day because, again, it was a Sunday, it was Mother's Day. I started calling. I remember, you know, that house we lived in that I'm always gisting you about. The owners of the house, our former landlord and landlady, they are doctors. So I started frantically calling
Them.
the woman because I'm
Yeah.
like, as doctors, they
She
should
know what
know,
to do.
you know what, I'm sure I maybe like 20 missed calls that day because I'd not even spoken to her in years, but I was just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. At that point, I was just like,
Yeah, like
man.
anything. I think I texted my pastors as well.
Yeah.
I remember PN called me that like while we're still there, prayed, you know, with me, and I had my sister in the US. Tanka was already like in the US, so she was like on the call with us as everything was happening. We all went to we took her from the hospital to the mortuary, and I remember that day, the anyhowness in Nigeria sometimes, cause when we got to the mortuary,
Yes.
like that's literally your job, that's what you are paid to do. And then some of them, the men, they were like, oh, that would me, my sister and I want to like bathe for her or something like that, and I was like, no, like I'm still trying to even process all the things
Yeah,
that
it
are
just
happening,
happened.
and you think the
Yeah.
next appropriate thing to ask me is if I want to come and see my mom that way. Like, it was just weird. But anyway, I think we buried her like 10 days. It wasn't long after that we did the burial, and you know, thankfully too, my sister in the US, even though everybody was saying, and even me, I think I told her that you don't have to come, you don't have to come. Said nope.
You don't have to come. Come. You
She
come
said
now.
nothing like that. She did everything she
Yeah.
could to come, and I mean, it's been a few years now. It's been really painful. Sometimes I randomly cry when I remember her, or when there's like a memory, you know, and all that. But yeah, that's how my own happened. It's time for you to tell us, you know,
Hey.
yours.
My heart is sitting like because
Just
my own
try
is
to
still
know,
fresh.
yeah.
But yeah, so it happened in 2023. Yes, in September,
Yeah.
3 days before my younger sister's birthday. Yeah. So I mean, she had been like for a while. It was kind of like the same thing. Like it was also like sickness. So for a while, she had been sick, but it wasn't as you know how like you said like how they always try to cover it up. They don't want their children to know what they are going through, right? Because
Yes.
they have this I don't know the mentality that you know our parents' generation had like. She just so anytime I call her because she was staying in Ottawa with like my dad and we were in Lagos. So most times I'll just call her, oh, how are you and all that. Sometimes we try to like go to Ottawa to maybe stay the weekend and come back, right? So those periods she's always like, ah, nah, I'm fine, I'm just small tiredness. You know, I went to the hospital, I've done tests, this, that. So she just tries to always like kind of sugarcoat it, you get until, you know, things started to get like a bit worse where like, you know, she couldn't like she was bedridden, she couldn't stand, she couldn't walk by herself. And so that period, I took a leave from the office. I think it was twice. First time I took a leave, yeah, I went to Otta and I stayed because we have a family hospital in Otta. So like I stayed with her at the hospital. We were there for about I think like a week plus or so, and then you know she went back home. Then it became worse again. Then we went back to the hospital. So it got to a point where she was literally like in the hospital like throughout.
Yeah.
So I took like in fact I had to even beg for extra leave.
Yeah.
So you know I told my manager then and I was like, okay, that's fine, I could take the leave and all that. So I went home. I stayed with her for that period where it was a lot. And the same way like you guys had to kind of like shuffle, we also did
Yeah.
that same thing. But it was just myself and my sister because my older brother is in Canada. So we're shuffling it. And sometimes she'll come, she'll stay. But I mean, it was a bit hard for me. I couldn't just go. So I was always kind of like constant, like at the hospital. So it was either I was staying with my dad in Ottawa, like in the house, and then my sister would go to the hospital, and then now, you know, sometimes we'll switch and all that. So yeah. Yeah, and it got so bad. We're going for different tests. To send us to one hospital in Surulere, send us to another hospital. And so eventually, at that point, they didn't even know exactly what was wrong. Yeah, so but when they found out, they told us to go to like the general hospital. We went there. I think we only spent like 2 days there before like she like eventually happened. Because that period, in fact, I was even supposed to go to the office that day to shoot a video.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I was supposed to go back to the office that day to shoot a
I think
video.
I remember.
Yeah, I think it was a video around like Independence Day or something because it was
Yeah.
October. Yeah, so I was supposed to because we had invited people to come to the office. Thankfully, they didn't come.
Yeah.
So that day, how it happened, I was at home. My sister was with her in the hospital, and my aunt, and then so we used to have these like early morning prayers every like so with all of us, me, my brother, my sister, my dad. So every morning like around 6 o'clock we just call, pray, and then before going about the activities for the day. So that day after the call, my sister couldn't join because she said they were trying to like tend to her like that very early morning because she wasn't really sleeping and all. So it was just myself, my brother, and my dad. So my sister joined later, but then left the call. Then after the call, I went back to sleep, and then like 10 minutes or 20 minutes later, my sister calls me. The funny thing is, I won't say it's funny, but like the minute I saw her call, I knew something had happened. Like I just knew. So I picked the call, and she just said, "Yenny." Ah, Lord. Like, let me use laughter to cover it. She called me, and yeah. She called me, and then, I didn't even know what I did that morning. I think I was still in my shorts. So I stood up immediately, called my dad, because she didn't even know what to do at that point, because I was the only one she had called. Then she was trying to like pray, and just the whole commotion on that period with her.
Can't imagine
right? Because
what was going on in her mind.
I mean, so she actually died in her arms.
Hey!
Because like I think she was.
That's like Sister Yemi too.
Yeah, so like she was watching live, yeah. Whew, okay. Where was I? Yeah, I jumped up from. I wasn't even sleeping in my room. I was sleeping in the parlor, like on the couch. So I jumped up, entered the car, called my dad. As I was going, I called my friends, Leke, Rotimi, like everybody start praying because I'm like, nope, this cannot happen.
Not happen.
Yeah, so at some point on my way to the hospital, I had to park the car and just like, because at that point, even me, I was driving really fast. So I think it was the Holy Spirit that just said, calm down. So I parked the car. I took like a minute to catch my breath and just relax and just, leave everything in God's hand. And then I got to the hospital. I opened the door and, yeah, there she was. And man, yeah, I think I called Michael as well. Yeah, I called Michael, told him about it. And man, I couldn't believe it because like you said, like my mother was like the strongest person that I knew. Like there are times when she's not feeling too good and she's still driving herself. Like sometimes she'll drive to Lagos, she'll say, oh, she has to go to market to buy this thing for this person. I'll be like, why are you stressing yourself? Sometimes she'll park her car at a place, enter public transport because she doesn't want to enter traffic, then buy what she wants to buy, come back, enter her car, come back home. So like my mom was like the strongest person I ever knew. And then even when like we saw that things were like kind of deteriorating like health wise, she was still able to. I remember the first time she spoke to you, because like that day she had not even like she's usually like quiet the entire day. So maybe sometimes she wants to pee, she'll just stand up and we'll assist her to go and pee, or she'll just take a walk around the hospital because they told her to kind of be mobile. So that day she had not like said anything, and then I was not like, okay, maybe this will kind of cheer her up, so let me give you to talk to her. So she called, she picked the phone, she was like, hi baby. And I looked at her like, is this woman that is doing, like I was expecting her to say, hi, hello, how are you? Like, solemn voice, that kind of thing. But she was like, hi baby. Like she had to like muster all the strength to,
and it's so that I would not know
exactly how she's feeling. Yeah. Because even the same thing like for my brother too, like anytime like we have like most times she tries to avoid video calls with him because she doesn't want him to see like how she's looking, so she'll just be on the phone. She'll be like, mom, okay, I'm getting better, this that. The day that my brother knew that it had gone. This thing was, I took a picture of her and I sent it to him. Now, like that, because things were really getting bad. He saw that, and then my brother was like, no, that he has to calm down. I was even trying to convince him not to calm down and all that. And then when she now like eventually died, like even that period, we didn't tell him the news because my brother and my mom were actually like very, very close. You know, like firstborn relationship, they were very close. So I had to call his best friend who was in another city in Canada if he could drive down to his city and like be there when we delivered the news. We also called his girlfriend, to be there when we delivered the news. And yeah, it was. I mean, we're not there, but I know that he couldn't like. I know we were talking on the phone after that time, and it was like as if we could not breathe because we're like, are you actually trying to tell me now that Abisola Adenuga is no longer here? Oh man, yeah. So that was how the whole thing happened, and I mean, so coming to like how we've been dealing with it. I mean, to be honest,
I've not more.
I don't know. I remember having a conversation with Ifoma, and she was saying that I mean, with time it gets easier, but it never really goes. Like there will just be those random moments that you will just it will just come to your mind, and then you just start crying, or you just start feeling moody or something.
Yeah.
You get like it gets easier with time, but it never really goes because this person was literally like a part of your life,
Yeah.
like since you were a child, and it's so I don't know if you're looking for advice on how to deal with this. To be honest, we don't have any.
We don't. It's not as if we have like 5 steps, to manage grief and all. Because depending on how special that person was to you, is like you would have to live with it. I mean, I see people today that 20 years after they are celebrating their parents, their past, and I'm like, that's such a long time. But no, like that person will always be, part of your life. For me, I remember like 2 triggers that were quite shocking even to me. We were on the group, and Sister Ayo is my first sister. She sent a video of my mom when she was still alive playing with one of my nieces, and I just I can't even remember what I said, but I was like, please warn us, like don't just send her videos to the group, tell us before, because it was a trigger, and I started crying, That was one. And then when we were prepping for the wedding too, we were just talking, trying to hold myself.
Hold it. Hold it. Because to be honest, like just about wedding, right? Having your mother at your wedding is like that's why they always have, there's okay, I mean for sons, there's mother-son dance. There's also daughter-mother dance, and there's father-daughter. Hold it. Yeah.
Continue what you're saying now.
I've lost my train of thought.
But yeah.
Yeah, having your mom at like your wedding. Because to be honest, for me it was. I know how my mom has always been. She has always been on all our necks. I want grandchildren.
Yeah.
I don't even give me grandchildren. This is also like always teasing us and things like that, right? And it felt. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like you've just waited a little bit longer.
Yeah. Like different things will just trigger you at different times. Because I remember that wedding time, like we're all in Sister Ayo's house too. I think maybe I just tried out one of the dresses or something, and Sister Inka started to talk about my mom. I was weeping. I'll see if I have that video. I don't have it on my phone, but I'll see if she still has it. I remember Style coming quickly to say, Kilosha. And I went out there. But yeah, I guess like we grieving, there's no one formula to everything. I think the
Yeah.
most important thing is to just continually grieve with Jesus. That's what me I
Exactly.
say. Like,
That's
don't even
literally.
try to, how some people even manage life without Christ. I honestly do not know. Like, without the thought that, you know, there is eternal salvation, that one day, you know, you will get to see this person again, you know, if they were believers. All those things, like, if you don't have that comfort, I don't know how you are doing it, right? Because that has been like our own
Yeah. That
anchor,
was because I
basically.
remember you actually, that was one thing you said, which kind of, just to sidetrack a bit, those were some of the things that kind of solidified our our relationship. Because, you know, I didn't know, because I've not experienced that kind of grief before. I had not lost someone that close, right? So I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do it. I was just there. And then I think when we first had I'm not sure if it was a call or a text, but you had said it that, you know, I should grieve with Jesus. And it was just, it just kind of reminded me that, you know, we have Christ.
Yeah.
You know, we do not mourn like those that don't have Christ.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was it was a comforting phase for
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, to be honest, as believers, it does not mean that it is easy.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
even
not.
grieving with Jesus is a type of pain that you can't really describe it. And something I even say is, you know how sometimes if someone loses somebody, you say, oh, I know how you're feeling. The thing with grief is, no two people grieve alive. So you can
You
never
can't
say you
know.
know how. Like,
Yeah.
even if two people lose their moms, you as person one, you can't say, I know how this person is feeling.
Yeah.
There's nothing like
Because the
that.
relationship first, we're not even, you don't
This,
know,
you
it can't
don't
be
know
the
the
same.
dynamics,
Exactly.
you
Don't know
don't know
the, yeah, exactly.
anything,
So
right? So I guess maybe let's even now start going into like certain things that people can do. Number one, if you know somebody that is grieving, like, be sensitive. Because I remember
yeah.
you people telling you, oh, be a man. Ah,
That thing actually annoyed me, like,
oh my Jesus.
because that's not the time for you to be saying be a man.
No.
Like, allow people, because that's why another thing is, okay, before I moved to, because I was already thinking of a second point, which is having like good friends around you, like friends. What's her name? Ibukun called me, and you know how when you call someone that is grieving, you always feel like you have to fill the empty space with by saying something. You don't necessarily have to.
Job's friends.
Do you get? Just be quiet and
Yeah.
be there for the person. Like,
Yeah.
she literally just said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to say anything. I just want you to be on the call with me." And like, just she was just there. At some point, I cried. You know, at some point, I was trying to even tell her like, "How are you?" And all that. She was like, "No, that she just wants to know that. She just wants me to know that, you know, she's here for me, right?" So those are things that you should try to imbibe as a friend
Yeah.
to, you know, someone that is grieving. Like, don't always feel like you need to fill the empty space
With
with
words.
words.
But that also does not mean that you should not do anything.
Yeah.
Because that's a mistake some people also make. You have a really close friend that lost a mom, lost a loved one, lost a sibling. You've not texted in 2 weeks.
Sometimes you say, I don't know what to say.
You've not called. I don't know what to say. Now they say ignorance is not an excuse, or it's
Yeah.
not bliss. Like, you don't know what to say is not an excuse to not do anything. Send it. Like, I literally have texted people to say, I honestly don't, like, I'm texting you saying,
like,
I don't know what to
but just know
say.
that I'm praying for
Exactly.
you.
You
know,
are
God
my
is with
mind.
you.
All of
Yeah.
that. Like, but you must do something. If you had like or have like a friendship with that person, don't just go blank. You know, I have a friend today that kind of feels like that's why we're not so close anymore, because she feels like, oh, when my mom passed, she wasn't really there. It never really even occurred to me. Like, it wasn't, I never thought about that. But like a few years after, when we talked, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's just the Holy Spirit dealing with you on what you should have done. Do you get? Because this particular person, interestingly, I never really thought of it that, oh, this is why maybe we are no longer close. But that's to tell you that you too, over the years, if you did not do what you were supposed to do, you will kind of stay guilty about it. So text, I remember KG didn't also, just like Ibukun, she came to the house. She was not saying much. She was not even taking too much space. Do you understand? But she was just there. The burial, she sat down with us in front. Like, she was not talking too much, but just that presence. And it's something I would never forget. I remember people it goes such a long way. Friends sending money, sending food, like as random as that is.
Like friends, I remember when that time too, Rotimi, Leke, Spora Fumi, even some of my friends from Celebration Church Leke, Former, Badi, they all just came to my house. They brought food, brought like food stuff, and we just had the communion. And it's even though they didn't, stay 3, 4, 5 hours, I think it was just like an hour, and they had, but that 1 hour with them would do so much good to that person, because it did so much good to me as well. Like just knowing that you have a community of people that have your back and are praying for you on the steady.
It helps, because I even remember that time too. I think it's only, there's a verse, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you pass through the fire, I think it's Isaiah 43, right? That was the only verse. I couldn't pray and I couldn't read my Bible, but that verse was the only thing I could put in my head. But somehow, like that same day, people from my church too, they came to the house. They were not talking too much. They were there. They prayed with us, all of that. So just knowing that even if I cannot cover myself, there are people covering me. you know, it goes a long way. So yeah. I think to end this video, we will just also talk about like making time for the people that you love. Remembering that first of all, we don't even need to tell you, as you to go and see your parents when you were younger, and now you see that they are growing older. Like they are no longer, no matter how agile they are showing you, or they are doing a hippie boy or hippie girl, know that they are getting older. Like, make time for them, call them when you can, send money to them, visit, yes.
Spend the weekend with them.
If you've not gone home in a long time, make time. It's your sign to go home. Because I remember that time to Sister I used to say, is when I was still in Lagos, we literally kind of maybe every 2 weeks or so, like try to go home. If Sister Ayo and her family have gone, I must make sure that I go. Me and Sister Ayo, me alone next time. Like we were always like kind of shuffling it, and that's very important. Like, know that these people are growing older, so be there for them and make time. Don't be that person that because you are hustling, getting money, your job and your business is your life. Make time for the people that you love. Because those memories, all of those things, you look back and you'll be so glad. Like that last selfie that I took with my mom. It's so special to me, because it reminds me that God, thank you that I made the time that day to go and see her. Because imagine the regret I'll be living with.
True. Speaking on that too, because we also did something like my siblings. So it was her 60th birthday, and she had been saying that she wanted a new car, like for a while, right? And then we took it upon ourselves to buy her the car that she wanted, that on her 60th birthday. And funny how it was the same year. Yes, it was the same year, because her birthday January, and it was September that.
Now imagine, but then that she had the joy of that for that period.
Like I remember the videos from that day. She was crying. She was like, "Oh my God, this."
And your brother also came to surprise her.
He was. Yes, he was. He was. Maybe we'll attach the videos
so
you guys can see.
So like all those memories, like even people like us that are abroad, like the fact your brother was abroad, but he still went home. We'll walk, business to business. But you see that family. So I guess
Thank you guys for watching this long. We hope that in all of this that we've said, you pick one or two, and you get to this point of the video as well. And so Don't forget to like, to share, to
Subscribe.
subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video.
Yeah.